I have another House of the Dragon theory. The things I'm going to be talking about will reference the second episode of season 3, and it will reference Fire and Blood, so spoilers ahead for that. Okay, now that you've all been warned, in episode 2, we found Helaena in the Godswood, and she was looking at a caterpillar, and she said, "It's not the season, it's too early," and we got this glimpse at something that she was writing about that alludes to the butterflies of Nath. And we learned about the butterflies of Nath back in A Game of Thrones because that is the island where Missandei is from. The thing with these butterflies is that they cause a fever to anybody who is an outsider, but if you are from Nath, you are immune to the butterflies and the disease that they cause, which would be butterfly fever. So these are quite literally toxic butterflies. Now, whether or not some people might believe that this is maybe an allusion to George R.R. Martin's Not a Blog post about Beware the Butterflies, I am more interested in the fact in the end of the part right here, where it says, "The lines are distinct as it is drawn with quill. They are said to cause death to people around them while living, but so far I remain alive." Is this saying that Helaena is around some examples of these butterflies, or is this an example of her prophetic dreams telling her something about either butterflies or poisons or what? So then I had an idea. I'm going to talk about Fire and Blood now, so leave. Okay, we all know how I feel about historical revisionism, so of course I'm going to take all of this with a grain of salt. But Helaena commits suicide by jumping out of a window. There's a great deal of speculation as to why she did it, but the fact that she died made the small folk very upset because she was beloved by them. So not counting any of that, I want to talk about what's down here. The streets were saying that Helaena was murdered and that she in fact didn't pitch herself out of a window because of the deaths of her children. And of course, nobody can get their story fucking straight in this book. There are many reasons as to why some people think that she was murdered, but TLDR, they were blaming Rhaenyra for it. And in fact, it is actually Mushroom who says that the slander for blaming Rhaenyra for Helena's murder was Lord Larys Strong. This bumfoot motherfucker is always at the scene of a crime. I'm not done. I'm also spoiling for you that Aegon dies via poisoning. They don't actually confirm in Fire and Blood who poisoned Aegon, but there were people executed for it. Grand Maester Orwyle confessed under torture, which I don't think that's a real confession, but okay. He confessed under torture that he gave the poison that killed Aegon to Larys Strong, but he didn't know what the poison would be used for. Orwyle was still judged as complicit, and he did say he wanted to join the Night's Watch. Anyways, back to Larys. He did not confirm nor deny the accusation that he was responsible for Aegon's death. So if you made it this far, I hate to be the one to tell you this, but this motherfucker is going to survive for a little while longer. Not only is he alive, but he is directly tied to about half of the remaining characters' deaths. So what's my theory? Let's go back to the butterflies. Let's go back to this. But so far, I remain alive. What do poisonous butterflies have to do with Helaena? And why is she telling us that so far she remains alive when surrounded by poison? Theory is that Larys poisons Helaena and then blames Rhaenyra for it. Helena's death is huge because the small folk love her, so they start to riot. So yeah, I don't think our girl committed suicide. I think Fire and Blood tells us that she committed suicide, but I think he killed her. I think the butterflies are telling us that. Just like my Rhaena is Nettles theory, I just like to think about stuff, so please don't be mad at me, okay? Thanks, bye!